Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you feel like you have an opinion, put it down in the comments. And if you're trying to be negative in my comments, I will not hesitate to block you. This is my channel. You clicked on this video. But anyways, that's not the point. Let's get into this video. Today we're going to be talking about blackface. Yes, we are going to be talking about blackface. You might be asking yourself at this moment right now, what is blackface? What is blackface? Let me read it to you. Before I explain what blackface is, let me read something to you. The portrayal of blackface when people darken their skin with shoe polish, grease paint, or burnt cork, and paint on enlarged lips and other exaggerated features. Is steeped in centuries of racism. It peaked in popularity during an era in the United States when demands for civil rights by recently emancipated slaves triggered racial hostility. And today, because of blackface's historic use to denigrate people of African descent, its continued use, it is still considered racism. So basically, blackface is when people that are not of color, how should I know? Let me find an easy way to put this. Okay, so back in the 1990s, during the civil rights, white people would try to mock black people's features, African descent, by painting their faces with a shoe polish that was really dark, and painting on red lips to mock our people. And they will do shows about it. They will act upon it. They will travel from city to city to make fun of black people, to basically, how can I put this, to make my people look bad. Guys, I'm trying to talk. It's not an easy topic to talk about. I didn't think I was gonna wake up today and talk about this, but here we are. It's so sad how people today will try to silence black voices, will try to silence the voice of a black woman, the voice of a black man. It is so ridiculous to me. I still do not understand, and I still don't understand why people celebrate in other people's misery. How can you be so happy celebrating in someone else's misery? That's what I don't understand. And I wanted to make this video today because yesterday there was a post about South Korean high school kids that did blackface, portraying this meme that have been going around. I think you guys might know it. It's like these African guys, they're specifically from Ghana. That's how they have a casket on their shoulder, and that's Ghanaian culture, where that's how they celebrate the dead, to show respect and show that even though they're dead, there's still part of them to be celebrated. And yes, I understand that that was a meme and everybody used it, and at times, yes, it could have been funny, but for you to go and wear blackface and do that. You could have done that without even doing blackface. Like, they could have done the whole thing without even painting their faces black or brown. But I'm gonna get into that later. Let's continue. This is how I feel. Blackface is offensive. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. Blackface is offensive. And I don't understand how people can still make fun of this and say that it's okay. I'm gonna keep saying, y'all can keep saying over and over that it is that, oh, it's the ignorance, oh, they didn't know, they were children or whatever. And I'm not specifically targeting Korea. I'm specifically targeting almost everywhere in the world where people do this. In America, the Netherlands, they have a freaking holiday where they all wear blackface and go out and celebrate like it's Christmas. That's actually very disgusting and disturbing to watch. It kills me simply because our skin color is mocked everywhere. You guys get to go home and take off that brown makeup, that brown whatever you guys use to do blackface. You, at the end of the day, you're gonna go home and go back into your white skin and just live your life. But at the end of the day, especially here in America, we're gonna go back home and still live in this skin. We don't go home and wash it off. It's impossible. And don't get me wrong, I love being black. I would not change myself for anything. I love the skin that I'm in. I love my melanin. Do not get me wrong at all. But the fact that we're getting killed over this every single day here in America, that we're not sure if our black mothers or our black fathers, sisters and brothers are gonna come back. I don't even know sometimes if my brother's gonna come back home or my mom is gonna come back home. Like, no matter what she does, no matter her status, like, you can be the richest black person in the world. It doesn't matter how you look. And you could have degrees and upon degrees, and you're still gonna be discriminated, and you're still gonna be killed. Like, it does not matter. But you guys go and make fun of this. No matter how many times we're still marching. Right now, we're still marching for Black Lives Matter. We're still trying to fight for justice and equality, but nothing seems to change. And I feel like if I don't use my voice and talk about this, like, I feel like our young voices are the change. And I feel so uncomfortable not talking about it. That's why I try to come on this YouTube platform to try as much as I can and educate you, but not try to be your educator, because that's not my place. You should be able to educate yourself, because there's a lot of resources out there to teach you and tell you that this is wrong, that this is what was done to black people. And a lot of people keep coming. Don't get me wrong, I went to Twitter and looked up the topic about the South Korean kids, and I could not tell you how much ignorance I saw. And this was mostly from white people. They were the thing they wrote was like, one that I read was like, oh, if the US hadn't introduced blackface to the world, the South Korean kids wouldn't have done it. But yeah, in South Korea, yeah, had like TV shows to show that, oh yeah, blackface is wrong, and black K, like in K-pop people should learn, and blah blah blah, this and this. There's a YouTube channel that literally brought all Koreans and sat them down and showed them that blackface was wrong in South Korea, and nothing has changed since then. And that video was like from what, last year? Sometimes I feel like we haven't gotten anywhere. No matter how many times we fight, no matter how many times we try to speak on this topic, it is so saddening and sickening to me that y'all still think that this is a joke, and y'all still think that, oh yeah, let's just do whatever we want to do and silence the voices of black people because they don't matter. Some of y'all just like to post your little post and be like, oh yeah, Black Lives Matter, and just live on upon your day. It's so sad to me. And one example I'm gonna give you guys is Sam. His name is Sam Okiri. He's a Ghanaian that lives in South Korea. I believe he's been living there for over 4 years now. And this guy, this Ghanaian brother, him, like, oh my god, I'm gonna try to focus as much as I can. But y'all get the point. This man has businesses in South Korea. This man owns a restaurant. This man is in the entertainment industry over there. He is known in all of like South Korea. I couldn't believe when I was scrolling through my Instagram what he had posted. By the way, these are the South Korean kids from Uinjongbu High School. Like, I don't know if I butchered the name or not. I'm so sorry, but that's them in blackface. Y'all can't say this did not happen, and y'all can't say that it's not real. Y'all can say that these kids don't know what blackface is. Y'all literally have the fastest internet in the world. And I'm gonna say it again. South Korea did march for the Black Lives Matter. That was the good time for people that didn't know about it, or that didn't know that racism existed in the world and in America. That was the time for you to learn, to go and educate yourself, but you didn't. And this man has talked about racism in Korea countless times. Blackface was done in comedy shows. He talked about it, and he talked about how he felt, and these people pretended like they heard him, but obviously it goes to show that his voice isn't being heard at all. He's being ignored over and over and over again. We need to break this type of cycle, because I feel like older people should be able to educate their kids. Like, your kids should be able to educate you, because it is 2020. Everybody uses internet. Everybody knows what's going on in the world. So basically, this is what Sam had to say. He said, time and time again, why won't people get that blackface is very offensive and not funny at all? There have been so many instances, both on and off air, where people paint their faces black here in Korea and think it's funny. It's not. And I'm highly against it and highly disappointed. You put in so much effort to educate people here in Korea and make them understand that you can't appreciate a culture without making mockery of the people. This has to stop in Korea. This ignorance cannot continue. And I agree with him 100%. And this man got backlash for writing this. Oh my God. We are tired of being tired. We are tired, but we are not giving up. We will continue to speak about this. And by the way, the definition of mockery, if you don't know what mockery is, let me read it to you. The definition of mockery is teasing and contemptuous language or behavior directed at a particular person or a thing. So when these high school kids in Korea took this photo, they did this as a cosplay and took this photo for a yearbook. Plausible things that went on in that room, that there was not one adult or one person that was like, hey, we can do this whole cosplay thing without doing blackface, guys. Like, you know, like, that's a thing. That's kind of how you show appreciation. Like, you could have done this whole thing without blackface and everything would have been so fine. Like, I have no problem with that. It's so sad to see that this type of stuff is going on in the world every single day. And apparently this school is not just like, this is not the first time they have done this. You guys love black culture the wrong way. You guys love black culture the wrong way. I could literally be walking or like trying to apply for a job in my braids or my natural hair and be called ghetto. But if another person of another color does that, oh, they're trending. Oh, wow, this is new. Like, it hasn't existed for a very long time. And wait, Black Lives Matter.